This is Majin, and I have a stack of reviews for you today. Don't worry. As you can see, there's a lot of books, but I really don't want to take as much time with some of these titles because you're just really going to be like, why are you still talking about this crap? All right. Future's End. All I got to say is Galactus. Copied Galactus. Well, other than, granted Brainiac is huge, and then he's got a machine like Galactus, but instead of eating the planet, he steals the city. Alright, World's End, number 21. Batman. The only thing that I can say is really important out of this book, and we wasted like 20-some pages just to get to it, is the fact that Batman realized that Earth was going to lose. And he did the one smart thing, and that was catalog the DNA of every living creature, and he basically gave it to Green Arrow to store until Apocalypse came again, and then hand it to somebody else because that's gonna have to get off world. That's about it I gotta say about this. Otherwise, this is a pretty, with the amount of quote unquote talent that's writing this book, this is one of the these two books are some of the biggest pieces of turds sitting on the shelf. They're going to be forgettable. Batman Eternal. This is the same thing. It's like, as I'm reading this, I'm going, Batman's like, it's not Ra's. That's not Raz's method of operations. He wants to deal with legacy. And I'm like, are you such a stupid idiot that you couldn't have figured it out before you get on your plane to fly to go beat him down because you think it's him? Are you the great detective? Please. This is no detective. This is the ramblings of a madman who can't figure things out for himself. Beyond that, I guess you could say they're trying to give us clues as to who eventually is responsible, but my guess is they're just going to keep playing bait and switch until the very ending, so I'm not even going to take a speculation anymore, even though the cover does kind of lead you to believe who it is. I don't know. It's just, this title is just so frustrating. It's like the story really should have ended 43 issues ago, and it keeps going, and I'm like, oh, please stop it already. Realistically speaking, we could have skipped a lot of this, and you wouldn't have missed anything. Alright, Batman 39. Fantastic cover. This is a type of cover that really should be on a poster, Great job. Now, here's the deal with this one. We get a mixture of things here that's going on. We have Batman dealing with the Court of Owls. As expected, the Court of Owls is giving Batman the fig. Well, that's going on. You got the Joker going into the Batcave. Just messing up Alfred's life, completely. Giving him a superior bad day. Then you have Batman getting the plan together to try to stop the Joker and his fiendish plans. So he's got to get the help of a bunch of his supervillains to help. Now, my thing is this. This, to me, was probably the best part of the whole book, where you had the Joker infiltrating the Batcave and Alfred with a gun to try to stop it. This was the best part of the whole book. I really loved this part. I really wish there was more to it. But my also fear with this is, if you gave me too many more pages, then it would have been kind of like, way too much. So it's kind of like that spot where it's not enough, but another page or two, it could have been bad. But regardless, I love this. I love the look of the Joker. Again, it just reaffirms that, yeah, the Joker really knew, and you just kind of botched everything up, Bruce. Good job. Beyond that, there's these, I don't know, for me, it's like this, what really prevented me from going, this is a good book, is it's kind of like this act of desperation. And on one hand, I applaud that this is what the Joker has done to Batman, but at the same time, I'm going, You know, it's like, how many times have we seen, okay, villains have to help the superheroes to beat the bad guy, and like everybody's good friends, and then the minute it's over, it's, you know, all bets are off and everybody's bad, and, you know, again. And it's kind of like this odd storytelling that keeps coming up, and I think it's getting kind of old, and it's getting kind of tiresome, and it's not really exciting anymore. You know, like if this was the first time this happened, I would have been like, you know, that was freaking awesome. But now I'm like, we know what's going to happen. You know, everybody's going to be fine. It doesn't really add any depth to the storyline, at least for right now. So, I don't know. To me, there's a lot of good strengths, but there's some weaknesses that are weighing it down. And again, the one point that just drives me crazy is how many times is Gotham going to burn down? And to the Owl's point, let Gotham burn down, Joker will move on, and we will rebuild. That's what the plan should be. Burn it, let him move, start new. All right, Avengers. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to hate this book. It really doesn't add much to the story. I mean, realistically speaking, and I've been a huge Remender fan for Uncanny, but I'll be honest with you, this book should just been canceled. This here does not hold the same magic that the Uncanny Avengers did when it first came out. This kind of seems like it's just a vehicle to tell a specific part of a story that they can't find anywhere else to do it. And that basically is Wanda and Quicksilver mutants? And this is where they're laying the foundation that they're not. And my guess is they're going to be Inhumans, because this is their Marvel's way of saying to Fox, F you, you're not taking my two characters, they're Inhumans now. Have fun with that. And it just, to me, like I said, it's just not, at least this part of it just isn't, the magic is gone, I guess is the word I'm looking for. All right, the Fantastic Four, number 643. The end is 4. I'm saying the end can't come quick enough. This book. Now, I really do like Robinson. Robinson's work on Earth 2 was stellar, I thought. His work with Fantastic Four has turned into something that needs some serious help. Because, again, this is what I like to call paint-by-number storytelling. You have all the heroes in scattered different directions, and conveniently at the right moment, Reed Richards escapes, the kids escape, Sue and the Avengers get together, they all meet conveniently at the same time, and they begin their push. And I'm like, how many times have we seen this happen? We see this happen all the freaking time. And here's my problem with this story. Well, I understand fully that we're going to keep seeing that happening. And I understand that this is, you have to just live with it, because that's the way comics work. Heroes get separated, they get beaten down, and they meet up to join up for one final push. I get that. But here's my problem. When you read manga, and you read books like, Fairy Tail, Naruto, I'll throw Bleach in there, even though I think Bleach is utter horse manure. When the heroes get fractured and they get back together again, there's a certain moment in time where you look at certain characters like Natsu from Fairy Tail and you just go, oh my god, things are going to hit the fan. When you look at One Piece and you see Luffy, he has that look in his eye that said, you messed with my friends, you're going down, no matter what the cost. And I don't see that here at all. I just see like a bunch of people who are going, well, we got to get our powers back together again. And, oh, hi, kids, how's it going? I see you guys are all right. And here's Reed. Reed's back. Didn't miss you, but I knew you'd be here. You know what I mean? There's not one moment in time where I went, like there's this defining moment where it gives you excitement. It makes you happy that the heroes are finally back together again, and the heroes are ready to just lay down the ultimate smackdown, and it just doesn't happen. And that's why this book is just utter garbage. And I don't care Sleepwalker's in here. Sleepwalker's probably in here because of a licensing issue, meaning they need to make sure they use him. And because so far it's making no sense. And I just don't. This is not a good book. This is not ending well at all. All right, New Avengers number 30. I enjoyed this, and the reason is basically this gives you everything that they haven't told you about in terms of the Beyonders, the Builders, and all this nonsense. And it tells you the journey of Hank Pym as he's trying to figure out what's going on the other side of the universe. And the Beyonders are really stirring things up in a horrible way. Like, they're destroying the Celestials, the gods, everything. And they're not only they're doing it in like one universe, they're doing it in all of the universes. And this actually was a really good read. And it also points out, it does show you where they were starting to plant some seeds early on as to when the story was originally starting to take shape. And this is definitely something that they've been planning for like a long time. And I've really, really been enjoying it so far. It's not without some problems, but I've been enjoying it so far at least. Art's been good too. Okay, all new X-Men. All right, this story was just, oh man, I'm telling you, sometimes you just get headaches when you read things, But I will say the art was just fantastic. I really enjoyed, like, every page was a pleasure to look at. Or maybe not every page, but a lot of these pages were just simply fantastic looking. All right, it maybe had some anatomy problems. Angel's got no hips. But if you look at the littler things, it was great. The bad thing is stuff like you have, Gamora, who's evolved to the highest point, and here comes Ronan, smacks her with the hammer and takes the black vortex away. I'm like, really? You're evolved, and Ronan just comes in, hits you with the hammer, and takes the thing. Great. I think it's like, why did you evolve in the first place if something like that little battle would have just, made you lose? There's a surprise guest star at the end who's going to tie all of the X-Men back together again. But overall, I mean, it was enjoyable, but this is not what I would consider a strong book. It's enjoyable, I guess, if you've been reading the storyline, but I guarantee you, if you're just reading All New X-Men and you picked up this book, you are really going, what the hell is going on here? I have no clue what's going on. This art is just freaking insanity, and it makes no sense to what... I have no clue. And even though there's this at the beginning to help you out, there's nothing to connect. So that part, I can see people being really disappointed with it, but I was okay with it since I've been reading it. Okay, Mr. Spider-Verse epilogue. This isn't too bad of an epilogue overall. It was basically pretty much all the spiders going back into place, and then the one thought that was in probably a lot of people's minds that they probably forgot until they read this book is what happens with Otto, because he knows now that Peter comes back and beats him. And this issue here is specifically designed to deal with that very topic. And so I thought this was decent. The storyline was decent. They planted some seeds for future stories, and I enjoyed it. They also tied in the incursions into this book, which is also kind of surprising. But overall, it was good. But if you look at it in terms of a great book of the week, it fell a little short from that. But good stuff. Okay, Spider-Gwen. This is one of those issues that I really didn't like the first time. When I first saw Spider-Gwen. But I'm telling you, this costume grew on me This is the best freaking design costume I've seen in a long time. This is a figure I would buy in a heartbeat type thing. And, while I'm kind of annoyed, or just not really annoyed, but kind of like not even amused by some of the way they presented this world, I still thought that this was a decent beginning. And, it's nice to see them do, even though this is just another Spider-Man title, it's nice to see that there's a little bit more diversity where it's not just, here's another Spider-Man, It's, because, like, if you want to attract new readers, you got to get more female heroes. And so that part was nice to see. It's another viewpoint. And it's... I don't know if I'm going to be on this thing for the long haul, but at least for right now, I'll stick on. I'll stick on board with this. The one thing I will say is I really had a bigger expectation in terms of the story, because it's basically, this issue here is all it is, just laying things out. Here's the nice villain for you. Here's the way she's dealing with her dad. Jameson doesn't like Spider-Gwen. People think Spider-Gwen, or female Spider-Man, basically killed Peter Parker. So this is what all this is. It's just basically getting brand new readers who maybe missed her first issue in this up to speed. And but I enjoyed it. It was decent. But by no stretch of the means is this a great book of the week. Anyways, that was actually a lot to go through. So if you have any comments, questions, let me know. Like, share. Let me know what you guys read this week. And don't forget, I do the comic book podcast at Cons Freaks and Geeks. And we'll have more stuff later. So until next time.